Good evening and welcome to the main event. Today we pay our final tribute to the greatest heavyweight champion of all time and perhaps the greatest fighter of all time, although some fight fans would question it and say that Sugar Ray Robinson was the greatest.
We now go to round 13. It's Robinson, after weathering that terrific barrage of punches, coming on to take charge. LaMotta seems to be arm-weary. He's tired, and Robinson, sensing this, opens up. Robinson snaps vicious jabs, follows with solid lefts and rights to the body and head. Robinson here in round 13 is going to land the hardest punches of the fight thus far. Stinging combinations with both hands will have the champion practically helpless. At this point in his career, LaMotta had never been knocked off his feet, but we don't know what's keeping him up. The referee wisely stops the contest when LaMotta is unable to defend himself. Sugar Ray Robinson, rallying from the brink of defeat, wins the middleweight championship of the world from a courageous Jake LaMotta.
Whatever it is, Muhammad Ali had the most telling impact on the lives of millions around the world, from Kinshasa, Zaire to Manila, Philippines, site of undoubtedly the greatest heavyweight championship bout ever, the third encounter between Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. We were given the privilege of being the liaison officer for Ali, and it was a truly unforgettable experience. We look back on that fight and the memorable moments. We'll pay tribute to the greatest heavyweight champion of all time and the legendary human being Muhammad Ali.
Well, I called him on the phone one day from the DZHP radio station studios during a program I was doing called The Morning Show with Tina Monzon Palma. And to my surprise, he answered the phone. It was the Deer Lake, Pennsylvania training camp. He was preparing for the second fight, the rematch with Joe Frazier. And then I introduced myself. He was very nice. And he knew a lot about the Philippines, by the way. He said, give my love to the Filipino people and to my Muslim brothers in Mindanao. Give them my greeting, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam. I want to come and visit them sooner than you think and to spend time with them. And then we talked about the fight. And he said, yes, he would like to come to Manila and fight, but he wanted to fight Joe Frazier and George Foreman on the same day, which was a joke. We talked about his career, we talked about the possible fight with Frazier. He said he'd love to do it here. And then, subsequently, I was sent to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia before his fight with Joe Bugner. And we met with Ali and Angelo Dundee about bringing the fight to Manila. In the meantime, the Games and Amusements Board Chairman, Mr. Louis Tabuena, and Imelda Marcos was meeting in New York. They were meeting in New York with Bob Arum and Don King, the promoters of Ali, and they came to an agreement. Now they had to relay the information to President Marcos, so Louis Tabuena came back to Manila and reported to President Marcos about the progress of the negotiations. Don King said, you take care of the venue and give us $10 million for the purses of the two fighters. We'll take care of everything else, the accommodation, the airfare, of the entourage of both fighters, everything else. So ultimately they said, yes, we'll do it. And that's how it was born. October 1st, 1975. I was sent to Honolulu to meet Ali and accompany him to Manila. And I did. And I was appointed by President Marcos as his liaison officer. So we spent a lot of time together. We stayed at the same Manila Hilton Hotel, now it's known as the Holiday Inn. He had the presidential suite, and we went jogging with him in the morning, had not really lunch, had a snack with him in the coffee shop. He just used to drink orange juice. And then in the afternoon went for his training at the Folk Arts Theatre. In the evening sometimes sat and just chatted with him about everything under the sun. And that was quite an experience. The day before the fight he said he was going to knock out Joe Frazier. He looked like he would do it. In the third round I think it was, he had Frazier in trouble, but he didn't pursue it. And he almost paid the price because of that, because Frazier came back in the middle rounds, beat him up really badly with some thundering right hands to the midsection, to the body. But ultimately, Frazier's left eye was closed, he couldn't see the punches of Ali, and his trainer Eddie Fuchs decided to call off the fight in the 14th round. So Ali came out winner. But he said to me later, it was the closest thing to dying. It was so hot and humid in the Araneta Coliseum with 25,000 people. And the fight took place at noontime. With that crowd and with the heat inside the venue, it sapped the energy of both fighters. Eddie Fuchs was actually a wonderful man and a classy individual. He decided to stop the fight, even though Frazier wanted to continue. He decided to stop the fight because he didn't want to risk Frazier going blind. He had the asset of speed. His hand speed was terrific. He's a heavyweight, but he punched like a lightweight. So quick. His hands were so quick. His footwork was terrific. He could dance in the ring, grab it. His Ali shuffle was incredible. He shuffled his feet, his footwork, and he was, like he said, with Bundini Brown, his companion, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The day after the fight, George Araneta hosted a dinner for Muhammad Ali and told him, "Champ, you were fantastic last night. I am building a mall and I'm going to name it after you." Ali was thrilled because that's the first mall in the Philippines. Ali was thrilled. Yeah, sure, I'll come back for the inauguration. And he came back the following year to attend the inauguration, cut the ceremonial ribbon. And it's very unusual for somebody like him to lend his name to anything. They charge millions of dollars just to use the name. He didn't charge 1 centavo. But he's certainly the greatest heavyweight of all time. But whether he's the greatest of all time, there are some questions. Some people say it's Sugar Ray Robinson. Others who say that Rocky Marciano, who didn't lose in 49 fights, was the greatest of all time. But if you take totality of the boxer in the ring and the human being outside the ring, number one si Ali talaga. Yeah. And the only one who can match Muhammad Ali in that respect is Manny Pacquiao. I lived with him morning, noon and night. So we developed a really close friendship. He used to call me brother and I used to call him champ. I remember the time a Muslim imam, an old man with a cane, came into his presidential suite. He sat there on the sofa and talked to Ali for maybe 15, 20 minutes. Then Ali pulled out his checkbook and signed a check for $25,000 and gave it to the imam. And the imam left smiling. So I told Ali after it, "Champ, you gave that man $25,000. You don't even know him." And he said to me, "He's a holy man. He will not steal from me. If he steals from me, God will take care of him." His faith touched everybody. He helped achieve so much in his lifetime. It's a pity that he passed away. I was there when he lit the torch Olympic at the 1966 Atlanta Olympic Games. Okay, and when he climbed, he couldn't walk. He struggled, but he was determined to make it, and his hands were quivering, you could see, but he still held it together and lit the torch. That grabbed him. Even President Clinton, who was the president at that time, cried. That's the kind of man he